Hey,
Welcome back. It's only been a month and a half.
you want to talk about it?
No. Life, it's busy.
It's busy.
Life's busy,
It's a pretty tough season.
It's been a tough season.
Had a lot going on.
It's true. Family in town, family in general.
Yeah.
So,
All the things.
you
I'm feeling super vulnerable right now with no makeup on.
look great.
Thank you. But I
You
feel
look fantastic.
feel weird.
You look fantastic.
Thanks. So yeah, we haven't recorded a podcast in a while.
No, we've slacked off. But you know what? We're getting back to it.
We are.
It's
definitely been a mixture of slacking off and coping.
Yeah, but it's all slacking off. We could have gone on here and just cried for the last 3 weeks.
Nick, you didn't even want to have a full-on discussion like episode 2, and you want to come on here and just cry?
I come on here and cry every time we do it anyways.
Right. But
So-
you wouldn't even formulated a sentence.
I won't be able to do that probably halfway through this.
That's fair too.
So, anyways, we're back.
We're back.
The positive thing is that we didn't quit.
We didn't quit.
We said we're going to do it again.
We are.
And we're going to pick it up where we left off. So we don't let you visitors. So we don't let you visitors down.
Okay.
Viewers, listeners,
Subscribers.
visitors.
Okay. How many times are you going to say visitors? So you're not the Welcome Center? We have
So,
the Florida
anyways,
Welcome Center?
We don't want to let thousands of people down.
Okay. Calm down. One day we will reach thousands upon
Who's
thousands.
to say we haven't already?
That's true too.
So-
Very true.
Anyways, here we are.
Yeah.
Episode 12,
Yep.
week 48.
480.
Anyways, I think this episode we're kind of talking about, originally it was communication,
Yeah.
and then the weeks have changed since that, and
Yeah.
it became spiritual battles,
Yeah.
which, we can loop it all together.
It all kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah. I don't have a verse today.
That's okay. You know what we could do instead of a verse?
What?
We could talk about what you're wearing.
Ooh, we could do that. Look at this. The
You
devil
know?
is a loser.
He is a loser.
And if you're listening on the podcast, on your phone or on your drive, you're missing out.
You are.
Go to the YouTubes. Mm-hmm. Or go to our Instagram.
Yeah. Because we could talk about it. Yeah, we made our first run of shirts.
Yes, we did.
Something that you and I have both always wanted to do, had a calling to do.
Right.
Yeah.
So with the shirt, we created a brand called
Yep.
it's staycalled.com. Mm-hmm. And basically what it represents is your personal calling. Ours, I think, was to spread God and Jesus' good news through apparel, because it's something you and I have noticed and followed, and the marketing around that on Instagram alone has grabbed us multiple times, and we wear a ton of shirts that we buy and to support,
Yeah.
giving and tithing, and we wanted to join in on the fun and make our own personal appearance.
Yep.
And so we're at staycalled.com. What is your calling is kind of our motto here. But yeah, first shirt, the devil is a loser,
Super excited.
inspired by our Pastor Randy
Yeah.
at Bayside Church here in town.
Just like years ago
Yeah,
that he
it's just
made
some-
the comment, and the irony is not lost on me.
No,
that
it
it
was
became
Yeah, it was him just on
this for
stage preaching, and
Yeah.
it just popped out. The
Yeah.
devil's a loser, and the whole crowd went, "Oh my gosh!"
us. So true.
It was so blunt.
It's true. And then you came home and you like painted it, and it became kind of like a
I did paint it. You're right.
thing that just kind of stuck with our family.
Yeah,
I feel like there's no better diss to the devil than to call him a loser.
publicly in his face,
Yep.
on your chest, on your back, wherever
Yeah.
you go. We wore it to church last week, 2 weekends ago.
Yep.
And people loved it.
Yeah.
People loved it. So
A lady walking into church said, I tell the devil he's a loser every time I pray every morning.
amen to that.
Like, you go, girlfriend. So with this, there's going to be, a couple other shirts coming out. They will all be limited runs. Our goal is to make them and move on.
Yep.
So get them while you can, because don't know if
Once they're
don't know if
gone,
it'll be back.
Yeah. Once they're gone, they're probably gone.
Yeah. Well, and they'll probably be gone in the colorway that is out. So if you see something, you should
Sure.
get it, because
Right.
we'll be switching things up quite a bit.
Yep. We got more stuff in the works though. We've got, the coloring book I did is now on staycalled.com.
Yep.
And we're working on a few more shirts right now. We'll probably do shirts that are readily available, and then shirts that are kind of printed on demand.
Yeah.
Kind of like crowdsourced. If you want it, get in there and purchase
Like a
it, and then we'll
pre-order
have
type
it
thing.
made and sent out. Right.
Yep.
And then we're doing some sticker
Yeah.
run and things like that. So
Lots of cool things.
yeah, lots of cool things.
Very, very
So-
proud of us
Yeah, me too.
in that regard.
Stay tuned.
I like it. So that took place of our Bible verse.
Yes.
But I think a big thing to kind of talk about, and I'm not going to go into detail on it. I don't have a desire to go into detail. More of just our absence in the podcast.
Yeah.
We've definitely had a lot going on as a family. And just some heavy things and some decisions that you and I had to sit back and kind of make, and conversations that we had to have that we never thought we were going to have. And
Yeah.
super wild. And all the while, you and I just stuck strong together, because that's what we do.
Right. Yeah.
But hard, heavy. On the other side of it, conversations couldn't have gone better when they did.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
so.
We prayed for it. We went in with, more grace than we've ever had in our entire lives. And that was, really difficult to do.
Yeah.
We just talked about in our group last night that for me, especially that, I know for you, it was hard, to go in with a smile on your face, and have grace throughout the whole conversation,
Right.
telling yourself, let's make this work rather than let's,
Walk away.
well, not even walk away, but instead of, turning the conversation into what happened that was wrong. What did
Yeah.
somebody do that was wrong?
Right.
This is how you hurt me.
Right.
It turned into, let's keep it positive. Let's hear the other person out,
Yeah.
and it turned out to be a very good conversation.
For
And
sure.
We won't bore you with that.
Yeah.
But I think what we can do through this podcast is kind of explain, kind of how we dealt with a situation like that. Maybe how you can do the same thing on your end if you're dealing with something hard, especially with family or friends. Family's a tough one because you can't get rid of family.
Nope.
You
Can't do
know,
that.
So family ultimately will treat each other differently than a friend will, because a friend, you or a friend are always in fear of losing each other. But when it comes to family, you don't ever have that notion of losing family.
Right.
So you tend to, whether it's, a father or a sibling or,
Family
a
tends to
kid
mistreat
or-
each other more easily
right. Because
than a friend.
family is far more forgiving.
For sure.
Where a friend's like, listen, man.
Yeah,
I've
I
only
don't
known
need you.
I've only known you 10 years.
Yeah, I don't need you.
this shit.
Right.
So, and we've learned that along the way. And I've same with my siblings, and, we've always, been good to each other, but there's moments when we've ignored each other.
Yeah.
It's one thing I wanted to talk about was, when you get in very deep, dark moments with family or friends is not, not ignoring each other.
Yeah.
That's something that you and I have been really good at lately, is shutting off the situation, ignoring it,
Yeah.
and thinking it's going to go away, and
Yeah,
then
it's-
just simply praying for it.
It's total self-preservation.
For sure, right?
total
We're human.
self-preservation.
We're human beings.
Yeah.
Outside of faith, we're human.
Well, it's a
and-
coping mechanism, and nobody likes to use the word. We've heard it time and
Right.
time again, but it is a trauma response.
Yeah, it's a fight or flight.
It's 100% a trauma response. And, in that trauma response comes self-preservation. And how am I going to protect myself? I I don't want to go through this again. I don't want to live like this. I don't want to, whatever the case may be, whatever the situation is, it's still your body's trauma response to something that has happened.
Right.
And so easier, right? Which we always say, like, easier to take the easy road is to just ignore it.
Right.
Like, shut it off,
Right.
turn around, like, be mad at that person, ignore that person, go weeks without talking to that person, whatever it trickles into. But it always ends up shittier than it started.
Right. Of course. Right.
So at some point, I want to break the generational trauma of terrible communication.
Right.
And the only way to do that is to face it head on as an adult.
Right. That's hard. Right.
Very
it's
hard.
so easy to do the wrong thing because the wrong thing is so gratifying in the moment.
Yeah.
And the right thing most of the time is terrifying,
Yeah.
or you don't know the outcome of the right thing. You know the outcome of the wrong thing. The wrong thing is I'm going to be quiet today. I'm not going to have to deal with it.
Right.
And then I'll start again tomorrow.
Right.
And then it's even harder tomorrow.
Or I won't.
Or I'll just
And I'll keep going.
rip the Band-Aid off and let's get through it.
Right.
And then we're done.
Yeah.
And it's going to be what it's going to be. That's
Absolutely.
that's God's way. It's your life is going to be what your life is.
Yeah.
And you can either take the hard road or the easy road.
Right.
Either way, you're ending up at the same place.
Yeah. It's still going to be God's plan.
One was intense and the other one was enjoyable.
100%.
Yeah.
It makes me think of Olive in the communication thing because she's in a phase right now where she tells us everything. And I'm
Right.
so grateful for
Yeah.
it because I don't ever want that to stop. I don't ever want that to end. I want to nourish that for as long as I possibly can.
Right.
Before she's, attempting to sneak out the window or whatever the case may be.
Of course.
So every day, not every day because that's an exaggeration, but like, she'll be like, man, the teacher just kind of got mad at me today because I wouldn't do whatever. And it's like, oh my God, the
I know.
teacher's not mad at you. The teacher's just being a teacher.
Right.
But I'm also grateful that all of those little things she comes to talk to us about because one day there's going to be a big thing. And
Yeah, she's gonna
we've
be there.
laid the foundation for her to come with the big thing.
Right.
Because all the little things were so easy to talk to us about.
For sure. And that's important, right?
Right.
Have an open dialogue with your kids no matter what. And even to like tonight, she threw something across the room and it knocked all the water bottles
Yeah.
off the table and it was loud and we were all wondering what the heck was going on. And, she was supposed to be doing her homework.
Right.
So we got at her, asked her, what the heck did you just do?
Right.
And she took that as she was getting in all this trouble and
Yeah.
we were, disappointed in her. And it was like, no,
She's also totally your child.
I know.
The most. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, just stabbed me right in the
yeah.
heart.
Oh
yeah.
my
It's like,
God.
look, we weren't even mad at you, man.
No.
You threw the thing across the room, made an accident. I don't care about that. Have fun all you want.
I don't care.
You're supposed to do your homework.
Right. I
So,
won't ask you to do your homework
right,
again.
exactly. So just trying to, cope,
Yeah.
with those highs and those lows.
Yep.
And half the time I want to be her friend
Yeah.
and be like, listen, you're not supposed to like be that honest.
Yeah. Oh God, I know. But I'm also like,
because she'll come home from like hanging out, for school, or they'll have snacks during the day, and she'll be like, "Well, I had 3 cupcakes, so
I know.
I'm not going to have dessert." And I go, "Why would you ever say that?" Like, there's, what I mean? Like, I appreciate your honesty, but come on, man, let's be a little smarter. Than that.
it's so good. It's so good because it's like every Sunday at church we let her have a donut, and then she ends
Right.
up getting a dum dum,
Yeah,
which I literally hate. And then she'll be like, "I know, no dessert," and I'm like,
yeah,
"Oh my God, you know it too."
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, she knows.
so, but yeah, I am, for me, a big piece of it, right, is just communication. And even though some of those conversations are really hard to have, they still have to be had. And I do think that everybody has a right to be heard in a situation.
100%.
It doesn't make your way right or wrong, or, you hold more power than somebody, because I don't believe in that either. I just believe that you have the right to be heard and your feelings to be said and met with grace. And that goes on both sides of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that is my biggest goal, to break this dismissive, like, we don't need to talk about it, push it under the rug, type of communication style,
Right.
and to really just like face the issues head on. Because I think my other thing is like, I remember years and years ago, Dad was battling anxiety, And I remember saying to him when we lived in Tennessee, like, what if something, God forbid, ever happened to you one day and like your kids never knew that you struggled with this and they were equally struggling with it as well?
Right.
And since then, since that conversation years ago in Tennessee, every single one of his children have been put on medication for anxiety.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that it started with him. You know, he took that first step and he acknowledged that he had an issue and he needed to figure it out. And did he want to be on medication? No. Do any of us want to be on it? No. But we all know that it made us better people and it got us to where we are now.
Yeah, exactly.
And now, you know, most of us are off of the medication and some of us are still on the medication. But I don't ever want anybody to feel like they've been in the dark about something because of lack of communication.
Right.
Like it just seems so silly to me.
Well, right, exactly. Nobody deserves to sit there in the dark, stewing on their own feelings, thinking they can't have a conversation with somebody.
Right.
It's a really bad place to be.
Absolutely.
You know, and even if you create it like, you know, we have in the past, where we create the distance, we create the silence, you know, it still puts us into a bad place too, because now we're wondering, you know, well, how's it going on the other end of this
Yeah. Or how long is this
fiasco
going to
or
go
issue,
on?
or how long is this going to go on? And
Yeah.
is it, you know, what's it doing to somebody else who's not directly involved, but
Yeah.
is involved, you know, from a partner standpoint or a friendship standpoint,
Yeah.
or just a support standpoint,
Or a parent.
or a parent.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
there's always
or other siblings who,
Yeah.
who, you know, don't know the full situation, and now you're battling them for no apparent reason,
Right.
you know, and then you're not communicating to them either, because
Right.
you don't, you know, it's just, it becomes a big mess.
Yeah.
You know, this time we were a lot better about it. You know, we sat there and had a discussion, you and me, about, you know, we're not going to do that again.
Right.
You know, we're going to call a meeting. We're
Yeah.
going to go to dinner. We're going to get through this.
Yeah.
We're going to squash it, and we're going to move on.
Yeah.
And we did. And I'm grateful the way it went. You know, I'm grateful how it happened. There was a lot of prayer
Yeah.
leading up to that. You know, we got to a place.
You and I met with Mary.
We met with Mary together for the
Yep.
first time, which was great.
Yeah.
You know, we got to a place, you know, collectively in our minds where, you know, without going too far, but, you know, if we felt the need to walk away from a lot of things in our life, you know, financially, you know, everything, right?
Yeah.
With friends, and we've got to a conversation where maybe we're going to start over in a certain sense. And none of those physical things or earthly things mattered in those conversations.
No.
And it was really refreshing, you know, to have those conversations and think, I truly don't care about our business. I truly don't care about any money.
Right.
I truly don't care
Right.
about anything physical other than relationships with family.
Yeah.
With my family, with our family, your family. You know, that's what is most important. And that's where that's what it boiled down to. It boiled down to, let's have a conversation, sit down and get through this.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you know,
We're willing to walk away from it all.
we're willing to walk away from
Yeah.
a lot of things, you know, and I think that went a long way in our prayers. And I know God had his hand in that meeting that we had, that dinner that we had, and he played the largest role in that,
Always does.
you know.
Always does. And I think that's the wild part. We always pray to God, and then when we sit back and we see his work, you know, unfold, we're literally like, oh my God, thank you.
all day, every day.
All the time. And so it's so funny to me when it all starts to play out, because the irony is never lost on me.
Right.
Right? Like, it's like we've had the conversation a million times over. Every time I'm like, all right, we just need money for payroll.
There it
And a
is.
check shows up.
Yeah.
It's all of the things. I think what you and I have come to terms with in our life, and is probably why walking away from anything, it's not even just this situation, but anything in general that no longer serves us,
Right.
is that if it's not God's will, we're good with that.
Right.
Totally
100%.
fine with it.
Right.
Like,
Right.
you know, tomorrow if he said, I don't want you in this business, I want you to do something else. All right, sounds good. Take
Exactly.
us where you want us to go.
Right.
And it's wild to live like that, you know, so blindly, like, be like, here you go,
Right.
take me where you want me to go. but I think it's also so important because at the end of the day, you really don't have very much control over it anyway.
And who cares?
His will be done.
Right, exactly. And we got to that place, right? We got to a point where we were okay with moving on with nothing from a financial standpoint, right? And we talk about financial standpoints and money all the time because that's a society that we live in, right? Like when you're going to walk away, you know, I don't ever want to walk away from family.
No.
You know, I don't ever want to do these things. And when I say walk away from that, I don't mean skipping town and moving to another country.
Right.
What I mean is sacrificing having, you know, a quote family business where it's not working out.
Right.
Right. It's dissolving relationships. It's hurting relationships.
Yeah.
And we got to a point where we were ready to shut everything down, find jobs to mend and heal what was left of a relationship.
Yeah.
And I think that goes a long way in God's eyes.
Absolutely.
And I think it did go a long way in God's eyes. I think we got to a place that it was kind of an epiphany, right? It was, without even seeing it, you know, we were willing to give it all up for family.
For sure.
You know, and that's mentally a really good place to be.
Yeah.
Because you finally get to a realization that none of that crap matters.
No.
None of that stuff matters.
No.
Because in the end, you'll just end up with family or somebody else who will help out. Like you're never going to be lost.
Right.
You know,
you will always be okay.
It's when you pull away from the Lord, and it's when the devil grabs a hold of you in those situations. That's when you find yourself worried about where you're going to go without it. Where am I going to end up without it? I'm going to end up on the streets. No, you're not.
Right. No.
You're going to end up on the streets if you single yourself out.
Right.
If you pull yourself away and you get, you seclude yourself, succumb to yourself to the devil, and he pulls you away.
Right.
That's when you end up on the streets. That's when you end up with that anxiety in that dark place.
Yeah.
That's when you end up with those dark thoughts.
Yeah.
You know, but if you get to a place in your mind where you pray through it, you find your faith in it, you talk to God and you tell yourself, I don't need it.
Right.
I would rather us be better here than sick and worried here.
Right.
So I'm glad that we got through that, you know, together for sure.
Definitely was a giant weight lifted off of our shoulders.
There you go.
Oh man,
You got it.
It's my first time talking, and just pointing us, you know, back in the right direction. It was a refocus and a
Total refocus.
bring us back into what actually was important. Because in that process, I was like, I'll sell it all. I'll sell this house. I'll live in a camper. I don't give a shit. Like none of it matters. Like my kids are healthy. My marriage is good. I can figure the rest of it out. It'll all work out. I don't care. I really do not care.
Right. And, you know, and it was better to get to that place in our minds than to sit there and dwell in it. And because I got lazy at work.
Yeah.
You got lazy at work.
Yeah.
And the moment that we were able to refocus and get back to work and focus on the things that mattered, everything started to look better, feel brighter. The days were nicer. And, you know, work's been going fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, I talk about work all the time because we spend half our lives at work right now.
Way too much time at work.
But
not way too much time, but way too much time. In the reality of it.
But it's, you know, it's a good thing. The Archer's around, and we're not, you know, we're not distant parents or anything. So
right.
But things are feeling very good.
Yeah, and it helped too, getting back into school, back into a routine of things, which just made life a little bit easier. Archer's kind of been great at the office, believe it or not. Like he's found his groove there, and Olive's found her groove back to school, and like the mornings are. So everything has been in a really good place the past few weeks, and so it's been nice to just kind of keep riding that high.
Right.
Almost.
Right. But they're good because we are good.
Absolutely.
Right. It takes, you know, I had a moment, I don't know if it was last week. You know, I'll be upfront and honest. It's one reason I want to stop, you know, I don't drink a lot. Please don't think that. But, you know, if I drink on a Friday or a Saturday, I feel it on a Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
And it really messes with my head. But I had beer a couple weekends ago. I had like 3 or 4 beers at a friend's, and man, Monday
Yeah.
was a complete nightmare for me.
Yeah.
Such a nightmare for me. And I was in such a bad headspace. And I forget where you went, but I
Wow.
was taking care of the kids
Yeah.
and the dogs and all that stuff. And I acted like such a fool in front of our kids. And I
Yeah.
apologized for it the next day. And I prayed through it. And I never want to act like that. Not that it wasn't anything bad other than just overreactions
Yeah.
to everything.
Right.
Dogs peed on the
Rug,
rugs and I
yeah.
threw a rug out and trying to pull the rug off the floor because it stuck to the floor with corner stickies. It almost pulled the floor up and I was
Just, if it was going wrong, it was going wrong.
mess,
Yeah.
man. And I kind of lost my train of thought on that one, but
Yeah.
I just
But you did apologize to the kids because you were
I did apologize to the
short-fused.
kids. I was short
with
fused.
them, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I forgot where I was going with that one.
But you, part of it was the drinking. So you had drank on a Saturday or whatever it was.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't drink a lot. If I drink, I've always had a 2-drink max.
Yeah.
Mainly from when I was on Zoloft, and it definitely took me into a darker
Right.
headspace. But I just have zero desire.
I know
to
that's
do
where
it.
I'm at too now. I just, if we get
I don't want to
together,
spend the money on it.
right.
That's a big one.
I know.
I definitely don't want to spend the money on it anymore. I also like food more than I like drinking, so I would rather take my calories in
for
trying different foods. But I don't want to continue to pay for something the next day.
No, exactly.
Or days
right.
later.
We went out on Saturday with friends.
Mm-hmm.
We went bowling and stuff and drank and granted,
They're expensive.
I feel fine. Yesterday and today I
Yeah.
drank tequila, straight tequila, which
Yeah.
usually that works out fine for me. 'Cause such a it's the better.
Yeah.
It's the better alcohol
course,
to
the
drink,
cleaner
right?
one.
Tequila's the cleaner one.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mess with my head.
Right.
But it's expensive.
But it messes with the bank account.
So expensive, man.
No, it is. But yeah, I just have no desire to do it anymore. So
Yeah.
I just decided I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. I don't even know how we got on this topic.
Just
I brought us here,
trickles-
but
trickles into.
I forgot why I brought
the
us here. That's
things.
the funniest thing.
But yeah, so we're back to school now, back into routine. I love back to school. I love back to school for the shopping, which this is the part you never understand. But
Yeah, I know.
I love taking Olive shopping and picking out new school supplies and picking out new clothes and doing all the things. It's so fun for me. And
Right.
getting her backpack ready
Yeah, I
and
can see
meeting
that.
her teacher
Right.
and doing all the things. So, yeah, I mean, it's been kind of nice. You had actually found some fun facts about back to school.
Oh yeah, I did.
And
They're pretty good.
the first one,
Is insane.
$38.8 billion to be spent on back to school this year.
Yeah. Well, now it's been back to school because I wrote
Well,
this.
that's not
I wrote this
true.
3 weeks ago.
Well, yes, but some kids just went back to school this week. So,
Yeah, almost $40 billion spent on back to school stuff.
I mean, it felt like I spent that much money when I went back to school shopping with her
But that's insane.
because we had to buy what was her style.
Right.
So,
That's a lot.
That is a lot of money.
For just one singular event.
yeah.
Right. That's clothes and backpacks and paper and pencils and I mean that's
Okay, so
nuts.
yes,
It's
I
nuts.
agree. It's a lot of money. I'm not discrediting that in any regard, but you're also buying stuff to last them the entire year.
Well, right. I know you're buying
So,
stuff for
we're
the
not-
classroom,
yeah.
which again is crazy.
So you're not buying just one. Yes, it is for one singular
Right.
event, but it really is carrying them through the next 8-9 months.
Right.
So
I wonder
it's still a
what it is. How
disgusting
many
amount
people
of
in the
money.
US? 300
I don't know. Too
360,
fucking many.
360 million. I wonder what
many.
that equates to per household.
And then 92% of teachers spend their own money on supplies for their students.
And that's a sad part because
Yeah.
I don't know how much we pay taxes into
That goes
the
into the
school
school
system,
district.
right?
Yeah.
But I know in Florida there's no state tax, so income tax. So I know a lot of that in other states probably goes to the schools.
But
But our property taxes have come up in the county, and I would hope that some of that would be going to that.
well, yeah.
But we also buy a bunch of stuff for the teachers too. We
Yeah.
buy glue sticks. And,
Yeah, you buy a giant pack of them so
right,
it can
exactly.
go. And I don't care because, there are children in schools that are less fortunate and don't have the opportunity to get all of the things or the name brand things or whatever the case may be. So
Right.
I actually have no issue contributing more where we can. You know, I know like it'll be like 4 expo markers. I'm like, I'll buy the 8-pack.
Right. No, and I don't mind
Yeah.
helping the teachers out too, because
Right.
there ain't no reason
No,
that a teacher making $48,000 a year needs to buy her own supplies for
19 or 20 kids.
these kids.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. I'd
Right.
rather spend money and try to make sure at least our kid has everything
Right.
they need, that their teacher doesn't have to spend it on our kid.
For sure.
What's the last one?
I'm going to tell you.
Before erasers, pencil marks were erased with rolled up white bread. I really wanted to try that one. We don't have white bread.
We don't eat white bread. So you could ask a neighbor.
I could.
I'm sure
You know.
a neighbor has a slice of bread they would give you.
Yeah.
But
mean,
yeah.
It might be any bread, because white bread before erasers, imagine how clean that was.
Maybe.
That was the cleanest bread you could ever eat.
It's a possibility. Maybe it's equivalent to our Dave's, white bread. So give it a shot.
Dave's Killer.
Yeah. Bread.
So I'll have to try it, see if that works. I'll keep you guys posted.
We'll report back. So since we started this kind of conversation, it does kind of bring us into a spiritual battle
Yeah.
of good versus evil in this world. But it trickles down into the Elon Musk and Donald Trump conversation that happened on X.
Yeah. And I think,
You were listening to it in the kitchen, and I was not hardcore
and
paying
at this
attention
point,
to it.
I remember a whole bunch of stuff on it this point, and there's been so much other stuff that's happened since that, so I won't dive too far into it. There's the Trump team has grown so significantly up to this point.
Yeah.
With RFK Jr. and was it what's her name? Gabby?
I'm not sure. Was it his VP?
No, not Vance. Anyways.
No. RFK's VP.
No.
Okay. I
But
can't help you there.
one thing I did realize today, which is, I don't know to be how I feel about it now, but I look at Trump's Republican Party, and what I've realized today is that they're all becoming Democrats.
What do you mean?
Think about it.
They're
Trump,
becoming Democrats? Or Democrats are becoming Republicans?
no. So you look at all the old school Democrats, right? Where Democrats used to be decent, right? JFK, decent Democrat. But you look at the old school Democrats, and you look at the new Democrats. That the old school Democrats who had that right American mindset, where they were different views than Republicans, obviously, but they still cared about the American people.
Right.
Those Democrats are leaving to work alongside Donald Trump.
Right.
Donald Trump was one of those Democrats. So now you have Trump, who's an old school Democrat turned independent, turned Republican. Then you have RFK Jr., who was a Democrat turned independent. Then you have...
So your original statement wasn't incorrect when you said they were all turning into Democrats.
Well, what I'm saying is that the whole group is now formed of previous Democrats.
Right.
Elon Musk, previous Democrat.
Right.
So in my mind, I'm like, how does this end?
Yeah.
Do they all go back? If everybody gets into office and everybody's in the administration, everyone's helping and giving advice here and there and working in the cabinet.
I think
Does the country begin to have a lot of the old school Democratic views, perspectives? Does that all start to come back into play? Along with, I'm glad we have a party that's united. I think
wanna
it's
say
about
no.
time that there is a party united again, because we don't need a bunch of terrible Democrats, and we don't need a bunch of greedy, terrible, rhino Republicans either.
Right.
What we do need is we need two parties working together to make sure that we as the people are always taken care of, because that's the only reason they exist.
Well, that's
is
the
to make
biggest,
sure we as their people are taken care of.
Well, that's the biggest piece that people forget, is that the government works for us.
Right.
Not we're working for it, but we are working for the government right now. But I don't think so. I think what's happening in America right now, man, it's wild. It's I I think the biggest thing happening right now is division.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it's on. It doesn't matter if the topic is Twinkies versus frickin' not Twinkies, like a organic version. It does not matter what the topic is.
Right.
There's division.
For sure.
So, and that's exactly what they want. It's exactly what the government has wanted. They've wanted us to be divided straight down the lane. You're going to stand on this side for this thing. You're going to stand on this side for this thing. So what they want is division. I think the scarier part is while we're sitting here being divided against each other, we're forgetting all the things that are happening around the world. And those are some scary things that we need to be paying attention to. Do I think we'll go back to how things used to be? No, I don't. I don't think as a country it's possible right now. And I don't think it's possible because there's just a lot of wildness going on. I think the only way we're going back is when friggin' Jesus comes back, and everybody better be careful for that.
The blunt answer to that is that's it.
Yeah.
Right. We're just along for this wild ride, because that's just it. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
Government is never going to save us.
No, but I think the government needs to get gut checked. And I think that's a big piece of what's going on right now.
Right. But who gut checks you when you are the top dog?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think that they're going to be the top dog for much longer. I think what's happening is that the people want their power back.
Well, they do.
And so the people have found their voice and they're not letting up anymore. Where before it was like, okay, well, I'm not going to get anywhere.
Right.
Now people are like, I don't give a shit. I'm going to keep going.
Right. And everyone has a voice on both sides, which is the best way to go. I want everybody to voice their opinion. I don't want anybody to hate somebody because of it.
I totally agree with that.
And that's the party that Trump is creating right now versus what it was, 8 years ago, almost 7 years ago, where it was, I personally enjoyed him who he was the first time. It was mean tweets.
Everybody
and
did.
It was getting stuff done. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
We had a great economy then.
Yeah.
We have a really bad economy right now.
Yeah.
And I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
But when you're spending 50 to 60 more for groceries,
yeah,
you are lying to yourself when you're telling everyone else around you that you believe everything is okay and going the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a 40% increase on the cost of
it's insane.
Food.
So, we're all the same person. We all want affordable things. Mm-hmm. And if you say you don't, I feel really bad for you that you're stuck in that mindset.
But it's not even that people want affordable things anymore or only want affordable things anymore. They want affordable, but they also want healthy things.
Well, yeah,
we're done being pumped full of bullshit. We're done being lied to. We're done having shit added to our food that doesn't get added to any other country.
Right.
When you make the exact same Fruit Loops that you're making for here.
Right.
They get cleaner version of it.
Right.
But you cut costs here in America and you feed the people shit food.
Yeah.
And then you sit back and you watch them get sick. And there are so many podcasts out there right now, but I don't care who you are. Go listen to Tucker Carlson interviewing Callie and Casey Means because it's literally a gut check to what is happening in this world.
Yeah. And go listen to the podcast, all over the place with various guys, of RFK talking too.
Yeah.
Because he's a huge
proponent of
health guy.
Yes. 100%.
And I pray that Trump gets in office for one simple fact that RFK gets put in a position of power where he can make decisions,
where he can make America healthy
and
again.
He can start to and when you decide that you want an organic banana, it doesn't cost you 200% more than the shit banana.
Right.
Like, how insane is that? Like, why does the shit banana exist in the first place?
Yeah. It's true.
Because we have to grow it faster because that many more people eat them.
Yeah.
Like, then just make the good banana and make it at an affordable price.
Right.
And if we run out of bananas for 2 weeks because they're getting ripe,
they'll come back.
And we run out of bananas for 2 weeks, who cares?
They'll come back.
And that's where that it's all about money.
Yeah, and it's all about power and control.
Right.
The biggest piece too, in addition to that, which is something that RFK talks about, which is something that I love, is pharma. Big pharma, what they're doing and keeping Americans sick. It starts with children. And that to me is the sickest thing that you could ever do. Their goal is to start kids sick so that they stay sick as adults.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that is such a sadistic way of thinking.
But it's specifically pharma in the United States.
Absolutely.
Like, it is a U.S. based thing.
Yeah, but because as the people, we've given them all the control. We've trusted everything they've
Right.
ever said to us.
Right.
Oh my God, the USDA says this is healthy for
Right.
me. Let me take it.
Right.
Oh, so-and-so's never done me wrong. Like, I'm going to take this vaccine, or I'm going to eat these foods. And
Right.
all the while we're sitting here like we're more obese than we've ever been. We have
We're the
more heart
fattest
issues.
we're the fattest country in the world.
We have the most heart issues
Right.
out there. Cancer is skyrocketing amongst young kids.
Yeah.
And we are sitting back and we're like, oh, dear God, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Well,
and we have,
you gave all the power to
Right.
people who just sat and lied to you for the
Right.
past
Right.
500 years.
Right. And we have the lowest average age of life, life expectancy.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's got to tell you everything.
Yeah.
And another thing that needs to tell you everything is that pharmaceutical companies own food companies,
Yes.
and cigarette companies own food companies. The amount of research and development that goes into making you addicted to a food is astronomical.
Why is Coca-Cola allowed to give money to the American Diabetes Association?
Right.
Why?
Right. Right.
No. That should be illegal.
And ask yourself why all the bad food is the cheap food. And all the good food, the healthy food, the organic food,
Yeah.
your greens, your meats, all of that is expensive.
Yeah.
Why does a pound of chicken cost, $5-6
Yeah. Organic chicken.
organic chicken when a bag of frozen chicken nuggets
Yeah.
that'll feed you for 2 weeks is $6?
Yeah. It's
Come on, man.
the whole thing is so disgusting
Right.
to me. And like, we made the decision, but we're not vaccinating our children anymore. And I just got to a place where, one of my sisters said the other day, like, I can't even pronounce the first ingredient.
Right.
Just the first one. Like,
And
I
that-
haven't even gotten
yeah.
to ingredients 2 through 400,
Right.
but the first one I can't even pronounce.
Right. And there's such simple rules of thumb when it comes to food that I've picked up on, that I've listened to people talk about, right? Is if you pick up a food and think, this looks good, it looks healthy, look at their ingredients. If there are things that you can't pronounce
Yeah.
and you don't know what they are, put it back.
Don't eat it.
Super simple. You don't have
Exactly.
to go through all these things to learn how to be super healthy.
No.
Start with the simple things.
Yeah.
Start and you don't have to go on this carnivore diet.
No.
You don't have to do all these extreme changes and extreme diets. Stop eating junk.
Just shop
Go-
the outer perimeter of the grocery store.
That's it.
Don't go in the middle anymore.
Meats, cheeses, dairy, vegetables,
Yeah.
fruit,
Yeah.
no bread. Bread's just garbage for you,
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
But
Or
if
if
you
it's
do,
sourdough.
or if it's sour, but you got to make yourself.
100%.
So, but yeah, meats, produce, vegetables, fruit, those things, just eat that.
Yep.
Right. And we have a hard time doing that. So I'm talking a lot of crap right now,
Yeah.
but I'm not there 100% either. I don't think we ever are, because there's just conveniences in life that sometimes we have to just pull the trigger and do
And I
something
do
bad.
believe in balance. I have no issue being like, you want a lollipop? Sure. I'm going to go buy the organic ones that don't ever die in them.
Right.
And I'm
right.
going to
They're
give you this
cane
lollipop.
sugar,
And
and
there's
right.
definitely
and they're independent brands. Not
healthier
owned.
swaps, right?
Right.
So I want our kids to live. I'm not sitting here telling everybody to like do all the things. But if you want to do something, start with throwing out all the bullshit in your pantry.
Right. Right. If you can't read the ingredient,
Toss it.
don't buy it or put
Toss
it in the
it.
trash.
Absolutely.
Don't even give it to anybody else, because
No.
why would you want them to eat that?
No. Get
So
rid of it.
yeah, and that just, and then there's other things you can do, right? You
Yeah.
can, every morning I try to wake up and drink. Ever since my dad was here, I've been adding, do water. And I
Yeah.
do like a half a tablespoon of salt in a small glass of water,
Mm-hmm.
which is disgusting, but it's like drinking an energy drink in the
Right.
morning. It's insane.
Yeah.
Because we need so much more sodium in our bodies than the ingredients, nutritional facts tell you.
Well, we need like actual, like good, clean
Well,
sodium.
good clean
not
sodium, right?
Table
So yeah,
salt
so we take Celtic salt and I
Right.
put it in a cup of water. I stir it up and I drink it, because
Right.
that's just a natural form of salt. But now I've been adding some, lemon juice to it, and cayenne pepper.
Yeah.
And I know that's a big thing. It's nothing new. But man, I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel a million times better.
Yeah.
Every single morning I've been taking that.
Yeah.
Trying to drink nothing but just water. I love, ever since I stopped drinking a lot of soda, I've been drinking a lot of sparkling waters.
Yeah.
But those are garbage. If it says natural flavors,
It's garbage.
It's straight chemicals.
Yeah.
It's
where they get
the
to hide
same.
them.
It's the things that make your nose smell lemon and taste lemon, because
Yeah.
your nose makes you taste. It's not just your tongue. Your tongue
Right.
is for sweetness and sour and things like that, but it's not for flavor.
Right.
Your nose is your flavor.
Yeah.
What else does your nose smell in life? It's the chemicals, the same chemicals that make perfume.
Yep.
It's the same crap that's
Yeah.
in the water.
Yeah.
Natural flavors is an FDA
Garbage.
workaround that you get to hide your proprietary, blend.
Same thing with perfume.
1,000%.
Or fragrance.
So
yeah.
we learned, there's one really good sparkling water out there, which is called
Spindrift.
Spindrift or Splendrift.
Spindrift.
Spindrift.
Something like that. But yeah. It's
I think it's
actual-
Spindrift, but it's actually carbonated water
Yeah.
and fruit juice.
Yep.
That's it. No natural flavors, no additives, no sugars, no nothing. So there's 5 calories a
Right.
can or something, but that's the healthy way to go. Or just drink water.
Yeah. Spindrift.
Spindrift.
Yeah. But they're good too. They're
delicious.
They have great flavor and they're fantastic.
There's no hidden anything.
Yeah.
It's carbonated water and fruit juice.
Yeah.
So
All right, we
start-
got way off topic on the food thing. We went down into it, which I'm proud of us because
Yeah.
it's something that we're super passionate about. But yeah, start drinking better things. Start paying attention to what you're putting in your
Yeah.
body.
yeah.
If not, you're not going to make it to the auction. You're just going to
Yeah.
keel over
You're gonna
because you've been
you're going to sleep better.
yeah.
Your mind's going to be clearer, less fog. You're going to think better. You're going to act better. You're going to have, little to no anxiety.
And you'll vote with common sense in
You're going to
in
vote
November.
with common sense. Your
my
attitude
favorite.
is going to be better toward other people.
Yeah.
You're going to have better relationships before. You're going to do better at work. You're going to do better with your kids. You're going to do better in your marriage.
Yeah. Take care of yourself. Take care of your body.
1,000%.
Take care of your body. Take care of your mind.
We are sick because we are a product
Of the government.
the government and of big major corporations.
Yeah.
And not trying to be this, superhero running around trying to bash all these big companies, but there's a reality to it. Money holds the power.
Yeah. It's the root of all evil.
Money sways, and it is the root of all evil.
Yeah. The enemy will get you with money.
Yep.
It's very, very true.
Yep.
It's very true. Miss Mary was teaching you a trick for dealing with anxiety,
That's right.
which she had taught me when I first went to her.
Yeah, I hadn't even heard about it.
But yeah, so big thing is, lay on your back, lay flat on the floor,
Yep.
lay on your back, and you're going to take a deep breath in, and you're going to hold it for 6 seconds, and then you're going to release it for 6 seconds, and then you're going to do it again. And you're going to do it again.
Yep.
Because what happens when we're in an anxiety or an anxious mode, we're starving our brains of oxygen.
Right, because we're taking short breaths. We're getting
We're getting
worried.
worked up.
Right,
Yep.
we're getting
We're getting worked up. And so we stop taking care of our brain. And the best way to do that is to lay back, open everything up, and just take deep breaths. Just shove oxygen to your brain, literally.
Right.
And it works.
Yeah, and even if, and it's something I've been doing ever since we had the conversation with her too, if I get anxiety very easy. There's the smallest things in life create anxiety in me, which is just, it's terrible, but I've learned to acknowledge it as it's happening. But one of the biggest things that I've begun to do is to take deep breaths.
Yep.
Because you're right. Your mind goes into fight or flight when it's starved of oxygen.
Yep.
So I've been doing that, and that calms me down pretty rapidly.
I think the other thing too to note is, so trauma, anxiety, all of the things, what people don't pay attention to, which is so heavy, is the gut-brain connection. Our gut and brain connection is unmatched in how God created us. And so our trauma and our anxieties, while they're a process of the mind, they live in our gut. And so it makes us harder to break down food, makes it harder for us to sleep. It makes it harder for us to go to the bathroom like normal. It makes it harder for us to digest food. It makes it harder for all of these things. And unless we pay attention to that and we cope and we deal and we move past traumas and anxieties, it will continue to affect every aspect of our body because everything gets funneled through your gut.
Right. People think
Everything.
a diagnosis or a thought starts in your mind.
Yeah.
It all stems from your stomach.
Yeah.
It all stems from your gut.
Yep.
Right. Even when the way I interpret, knowing that Jesus is speaking in me or within, with me or next to me is, Jesus to me is my gut feeling.
Yeah.
And that's, and before I was, head over heels in Christianity, we all have a gut feeling.
Yeah.
Right. And, learning to go with my gut for the simple fact that I know that that's the Lord speaking to me.
Right.
Changes everything.
Yeah.
And, and a healthy gut, you cannot have a healthy gut without the right food.
Absolutely.
You starve your entire body with toxins.
But without the right and surroundings, like doing things that actually bring you joy versus just doing things to check them off of a list, doing things that make you happy, like release the serotonin in your body, lower the cortisol levels. Like it all goes through your gut, all of it.
Oh, for sure.
And so until you start to acknowledge those things and start doing the things that genuinely bring you joy and start eating the food that our bodies actually thrive on and start doing the work to cope with whatever childhood trauma you have or whatever the case may be, until you start to build that foundation, none of it's going to matter.
Yeah. If you don't reactivate your body, if you come home and you eat pizza and takeout, and then you sit on the couch until 11 o'clock at night,
right?
Then you wake up and go do the same old dumb job tomorrow morning, your life sucks. Right? Like in your head, your life sucks.
Yeah.
So now you're depressed. Now you're anxious.
And it trickles down.
Now you're moody.
Yeah.
Now you don't want to talk to anybody.
Right.
So you go home after work and you eat pizza and you sit on the couch until 11 o'clock.
Yeah, you just keep doing the same damn thing over and over.
And the number one, the number one vitamin our bodies are deficient in is vitamin D.
Yeah, go outside.
And that's because we're inside working. We're inside at home.
Yeah.
We're in a vehicle that is UV protected glass. There's no vitamin D getting in through our windows.
Nope.
So you need to go outside.
Yeah.
You need to be healthy. You need to be fit. And I'm not the guy to say be fit because I need a lot of work on my end too. But you've got to reactivate your body.
Yeah.
We forget that. And we're not taught that.
No.
We're not taught that in school.
Nope.
You look back at like the 50s in high school, those dudes were ripped.
Yeah.
And they were playing real basketball, real football, climbing real ropes, doing real pull-ups, real push-ups, real reps on with weights. I don't even think they have PE anymore.
They do.
Well, I mean, they
Olives
have
in it twice a
but
week.
they have PE time. But like, what do they do?
Oh, they play
You know
sports.
what I mean? Like,
They play sports and stuff
Do
a lot
they?
at her age. Yeah, they play
Right.
sports, like they play soccer and they do all of those things. But you're right. Like we don't
Yeah.
push it. We don't.
it ain't like it used to be.
We don't teach kids the fundamentals of taking care of their bodies.
Right.
We just teach them whether or not they're a boy or a girl,
True that.
or if they feel like they're a boy or a girl.
It's very true.
But we don't teach them how to take care of their bodies.
No, that's all
we
gone.
don't teach them, what proper food is, because if you go based off of what the school system says you should be eating, it's shit anyway. So
Yeah. We don't teach them.
we don't teach our kids the things that they actually need to know to live healthy, functioning adult lives.
And the things that sustain life too.
Yeah.
Like we don't teach them how to manage money.
No.
We don't teach them how to cook anymore.
No.
We don't teach them how to work on cars or work on, wood or steel or whatever.
Yeah.
There's no blue collar work in schools anymore.
No.
And blue collar work is where it's at, man. I'll tell you what,
100%.
that's where it's at.
You see all those like funny Instagram videos where she's like, packing my lunch for my blue collar man.
It's so true.
He's got like a giant
so
Yeti,
true.
But it's funny because it's
like
she stays home because of it.
Right. You're either going to go to school and you're going to go be a lawyer and
Right.
you're going to struggle to make $150,000 a year.
Yeah.
Or you're going to go,
Become a welder.
or you're going to go and be a superintendent
Well, that too.
for a construction company.
Right.
And sit in a air conditioned trailer all day.
Yeah.
and make $130,000 a year plus bonuses.
Yeah.
Nobody knows that.
Right.
Nobody talks about that.
Yeah.
So, it's, again, just you need to reactivate your body. You need to get out and be active.
Yeah.
You need to go outside and just
It's true.
put things back where they need to be in your body. Right.
Back to
I saw this
basics.
picture online this week, actually. And it was a picture of the world's fattest man in a circus. And it was like from, oh Lord, I don't know, like 1902 or something. He had to have weighed maybe 300 pounds.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That was the world's fattest man that people paid money to see.
Yeah.
That's the guy in the car next to you at the stoplight now.
Well, now we have shows called My 600-Pound Life,
Right.
where we
Right.
glamorize what it was like to
Right.
get these people to be
Right.
600 pounds and what their
Right.
journey will be to hopefully have
Right.
weight loss surgery.
Right. And our government has pushed to make that community, I won't even say community, to push that section of person, whether they're happy or not happy,
Yeah.
to fully accept that
Yeah.
as if it's a positive thing.
For sure.
And I'm not talking crap on anybody.
Right.
Listen, but if you look at me and say, well, my body's beautiful, I'm 500 pounds.
Right.
You're wrong.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
You're wrong. You're unhealthy and you're dying.
Yeah.
There's nothing
Beautiful about dying.
beautiful about
at the hands
deterioration
of junk food.
at 25 or 30 years old.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
Or 40 years old.
Right.
Like, what's beautiful about
Not being able to get up and
your
knees hurting.
self-destruction,
Yeah. Nothing.
right? And if you are truly happy, then God love you.
Yeah.
God bless you. God love you.
For sure.
But I doubt
Right.
that you go home and look in the mirror and say, whew,
I really love myself today.
damn, Nick,
Yeah.
look at that.
And there are also women, and I will say this, and there are men too, that have a hard time losing weight.
100%.
And they are genuinely happy and they are bigger.
Right.
But there's a difference between that,
Right.
where those people are still working out. They're
Right,
still
right.
trying
They
really
are
hard
still-
to put the right
right.
foods in
They are
their
still
bodies.
putting an effort
They're trying
in to
to
be
do
healthy,
all
right,
the
'cause
things.
they're-
So there
they're-
is those people.
There are healthier overweight people.
Absolutely.
I'm not discrediting anybody.
But you're absolutely right in the, are you 500 pounds stuck in bed because
Right.
you can't get up and
Right.
you're telling somebody that you really
Right.
are happy? You're not.
Stay there because I'm going to make a TV show about you and give you a little bit of money.
And you're going to tell me on the TV show how miserable you are
Right.
and how you need to do something about it because you got to lose the weight.
Right. So,
But-
and I only say the things I say because I look at my mirror every day and I go from 210 pounds to 216 pounds to 213 pounds to 210 pounds to 218 pounds. And I hate it.
Yeah.
Right. Like I know I can be better and I want to be better.
Right.
And I was at 233 at my highest and that was crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because we're supposed to be fit people.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be happy people.
Because we're supposed to be outside.
We're supposed to be active
Yeah.
outside in the sun that
Right.
the Lord created to just drench our body in.
Yeah.
Like we're supposed to be sweating toxins out. We're
Yeah.
supposed to be, you know what I mean? Like
Supposed to be doing all of those things.
all those things. And
Yeah.
most of us sit at home, sit at work, sit in our cars. We just sit. Mm-hmm. And it sucks.
For sure.
So I love everybody. I'm not talking crap at anybody.
Thank you for coming to Nick's TED Talk.
Yeah. I love you all. I just know that, don't lie to yourself.
There's also some self-reflection in it too. Like,
I just did that for
yeah,
sure.
we
100%.
could totally be more active in being outside and paying attention to, I'm pretty good at it. You're pretty good at it. The kids are great at it. What they put into their bodies food wise. And, so yeah, there's always room for improvement. There's always room for growth. I don't care
Right.
who you are. Nobody's perfect. Nobody has this
No.
shit down to a science.
No.
Like everybody has opportunity to grow and to learn
Right.
and
And
to
that's
be
what
better.
I want for people.
for sure.
And that's all I'm trying to do here. I'm not trying to downgrade anybody or talk crap. I want people to get hyped.
Yeah.
I want people to do better.
Right.
I want people to feel better about themselves because
Totally.
I'll be transparent and honest with everybody on here that, I don't always feel that way.
Right.
I feel like crap half the time.
Totally.
But I'm learning to self-identify that, see it, want to change it, either write something down, or wait on the mirror,
Yep.
whatever it is.
Do something about
as
it.
a reminder to do something about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just be loathing
Yeah.
and just cry about it all day.
Right.
So I want everybody to be better people,
Yeah.
for yourselves, for others.
I agree with that.
Let's be the unity party.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
like
mean?
it. See what you did there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you got anything else?
Nope. I think we're good. We've hit that hour mark. People are probably done listening to us. If you're still here, I appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm impressed if you're still here after all of our rants and rambles. And
Yeah, sloppy show, but I'm glad we're back.
yeah, but that's the best in life.
I know.
It's the best way to do it.
That's good.
All right. Ready to pray?
Ready to pray.
Dear Lord, thank you for another beautiful day. A great day to wake up, spend the morning with our kids, spend the day at work, spend the afternoon and evening with our kids. Thank you for just keeping your hand in our lives, in our marriage. Guide and grant some prosperity to anybody listening to this podcast. Continue to show them your way. Bring light into some of, friends, families, lives who may be dark and they're just kind of feeling off and not like themselves. Definitely keep your hand on their shoulders, bring them closer to you so that they know you're there, and continue to watch out all of our friends, family, anybody listening to this podcast. Guide them on their journey, on your journey, show them your way. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Nice work.
All right.
We will, we'll see you guys in
2
weeks. Maybe sooner, who knows, but
Yeah.
It won't be a month.
It won't be a month.
So
It will not be that.
thanks for tuning in.
All righty.
We'll see you later.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
Bye.
Bye.